And we're live. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. We are going to be playing The Witcher 3 today. So Katie is out this weekend, and I was wondering what we might be able to play. I know we've been talking a lot about doing a Skyrim stream, and that is still in the works. That is going to be coming soon. I promise it's coming. But in the meantime, I have been getting back into The Witcher a little bit. The Netflix series trailer just came out. So I guess we can talk about that a little bit as well. And yeah, I love The Witcher 3. I think The Witcher 3 is one of the greatest video games of all time. And yeah, I thought it would be. We've never streamed it, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Katie has streamed it solo. I know she's played it recently, but I think she's just streamed The Witcher 1. And so, for a channel that kind of focuses on story-driven, RPGs, it's kind of incredible that we've never done The Witcher. I don't know if this is going to be a continual thing. This is kind of just something I thought might be kind of fun to do to fill this week. But who knows? If everybody really likes it and we need more content, maybe I'll do a complete playthrough. So we'll give it a couple minutes here to let more people join before we fully get into it. But I'll go ahead and start the game up and tinker. I'm going to start a new game. I was tempted to kind of just jump in because I'm doing the Heart of Stone DLC right now on my personal games. Like, I've played through the game many times, but I'm running through it again. I beat the main quest a couple days ago, and now I'm doing the DLC stuff. But I figured just for the sake of posterity, it'd be better if we started a new game. Let me know how the audio balance is. I am typically lowering the system audio in OBS anyway, but if it's still too loud, I can lower some of the settings in the game. Oh, nice. Okay, Delilah. Well, hey, I'm glad you are getting to have a chance to watch here. Am I less likely than Katie to get lost? Yes, I am probably less likely. Although the beautiful thing about The Witcher is getting lost sometimes. So no knock on getting lost, to be quite honest. I will show you. This is a lightly modded version of The Witcher 3. It's not like heavily modded or anything. Game audio could be a bit lower, only a little. Okay. Tell you what we can do then, rather than messing with it too much in OBS. No, and actually, let's mess with it in OBS. That'll make it easier for me. That'll make it easier for me to also not have to lower it in the game. Let me know how that goes in there. Also, mods. Yeah, we got a few. There's not too many in here. One of the ones that I really like is this one called Immersive Cam. Really kind of changes a bunch of different settings for the camera. I'm not going to go through all of this, but I just really like it. Lore-friendly economy. It basically just makes it impossible to sell loot for any type of reasonable amount of profit. It really puts the emphasis more on doing the main quest and actually doing Witcher contracts. Friendly HUD, I like a lot. It allows you to toggle on and off the HUD really easily, even with a controller. And also does a thing where when you use Witcher senses, that actually it takes the quest markers off of the screen unless you are using Witcher senses, which I really quite like. It feels like an immersive way to have the quest markers without it being, without having an over-reliance on quest markers. So yeah, we are going to be playing on Death March difficulty, which is the absolute hardest level you can play The Witcher 3 on. For a long time, I was reluctant to try Death March because I felt like it was just one of those things where you just had to abuse Quen a lot. And what I've come to realize is that I actually quite like Death March a lot. It feels like the definitive, like the actual Witcher 3 experience. Combat is quite fast. You have to rely a lot on your pirouettes. And it's a lot about positioning and thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead, particularly with monsters. Humans aren't actually as challenging, to be honest. I mean, they can still be, it's more challenging than the other difficulty levels, but humans are really no sweat. It's really when you get surrounded by a pack of monsters, which we'll see very early on in the first fight scene. You really get a feel for the difference with Death March right in that first scene where you've got a bunch of ghouls trying to get you. Alpaca, I hope you're safe. I see you've got you saying there's a tornado warning somewhere around your area. Man, be safe out there. We don't get too many of those in Texas, but we do get them every now and then. And yeah, just got to be careful there. I just described what tactics are. That's the thing. If you just play The Witcher 3 on normal, you kind of don't need tactics. You just use art every now and then and just kind of swing your sword around and you're going to win. And the enemies don't really do shit. So I kind of feel like The Witcher has to be played on the hardest difficulty level. Quite honest. Rice Bucket. Yeah, if we're going to be playing on Death March. Going to be playing on the hardest difficulty. All right, we're a few minutes past 2 here, so go ahead and jump right into it. Fresh start. That's true. I could do a new game plus. But honestly, I feel like it's maybe more of a challenge to just go in fresh in a lot of ways. Oh, hey, what's up, Lucas? Corn is in the chat. I see. I kind of just like the idea of not having better gear in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to Death March. I think I'm gonna go with fresh start. And yeah, we're gonna do Death March here. How that goes. And we'll go ahead and turn off for this. Fossil, no, I did not install the Witcher 3 rework mod, unfortunately. Oh, that's right. What do we want to do, Witcher 2, Dave? Yeah, sure. And for the most part, I'm just going to go ahead and let this cinematic play. Now, when you look at just how damn good this intro is and how great this cinematic is, and you think about the Witcher Netflix trailer that just came out the other day, are we really talking about the same level of aesthetic quality? Probably not, unfortunately.
You know I don't find that amusing.
Oh yeah, is this a thing on YouTube? That's Yennefer not have any clothes on, I think. Yeah, there you go. Yennefer doesn't have any clothes on. I care.
It wasn't meant to amuse,
Sorry, YouTube.
but
I don't know how
to
that works,
hurry.
but
It's midday already.
get mad at us.
You promised Ciri you'd train with her. Go before Vesemir bores her to death with those etchings.
You know, the scars on Geralt, it's an obvious thing to include, but I always thought it was a great touch, right? He has this really beaten up body from years of hunting monsters. It would be sort of a noticeable omission if they didn't have that, but I still think they deserve the credit for having that always faithfully represented. Nicole, yes, I have seen the trailer. I've alluded to a couple of times. And as to why Yennefer does not have a towel, I don't know. Maybe she's more comfortable kind of air drying. Must be so uncomfortable in the wooden chair. I don't know. Maybe she just likes to kind of lounge around naked. Maybe it's comfortable for her. Who are we to judge? The trailer for the Netflix series. I have seen it. I tweeted about it slightly. I'm not necessarily thrilled with the casting direction for Yennefer. I think they probably went too young with the actress. And the aesthetic of what we see in the Netflix trailer, it just doesn't feel distinctive enough. It doesn't really feel like Polish dark fantasy. It kind of feels like American fantasy in the wake of Game of Thrones. And also, I thought the CGI did not look good on the monsters. I actually think Cavill is probably the least objectionable aspect of it at this point. He doesn't look great as Geralt, but he also doesn't look terrible. So I'm actually not, it's not as bad as some of the initial images that we saw of Henry Cavill. I'm kind of more concerned with the look of Yennefer and just kind of the overall aesthetic tone of what we saw in that. It's a short trailer. We have to actually wait until the series is out, but yeah, I'm not thrilled with the trailer.
See, I thought Ciri could stand to wait a little longer.
It's uninstructive, not to mention unreasonable.
I don't want to be reasonable.
Aha, so that's the way the wind blows. Go and train with her, then come back. It'll give me a chance to put my face on.
Of all the women I've known, you're the only one who does that before.
You've known many.
What's it matter? Only ever thought of you.
Yennefer as a nicer Morrigan. I don't know if she's nicer. Perhaps slightly less schemey. Like Yennefer does scheme. Like she schemes quite a bit. Can't say that she doesn't scheme, but yeah, she's probably a bit more terse in conversation even than I gotta say. I will tell you.
Mountain Pass is beautiful as ever.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Geralt. I know this game came out in 2015. It is finally starting to show its age in the smallest of ways. But when you look at this draw distance, when you look at the billboard, the skybox, the actual, trees and everything, it looks absolutely beautiful. Foliage density, it just looks phenomenal. This is ultra everything. Everything turned up. We're running at a crisp 60 frames per second on my game, although streams at 30. Just holy crap. Kaer Morhen has never looked good. Anyway, head down. Frozen, sorry to hear about the not being able to sleep, but hopefully this is at least kind of a cozy way to stay awake if you've got to be up. Yeah,
Old Witcher's fast asleep.
as for
Serious
witch
disappeared
sorceress,
somewhere, of course.
I'm partial to Yennefer because that's sort of the classic choice. But if we do end up deciding to do this as a full playthrough, who knows? Maybe we'll pick it up and go Triss for one.
Guess she prefers practice to theory.
What?
Time to wake up, Master. These lessons so boring they put you to sleep too?
Damn it. Had her taking notes on ghouls and owl ghouls. Wanted to rest my eyes a bit.
Making her slog through that brick? No wonder she took off.
John of Bruges lacks flair, true, but he's reliable. Not like the hogwash they print nowadays. She's tackling the pendulums, right? How many times do I have to tell her? Don't train alone. It only embeds your errors. Bring our young damsel to the lower courtyard. She wants to practice, she'll get to practice.
Gotta admit, we've spoiled her.
We've spoiled her. I've been saying it from the start. Ciri needs a firm hand.
Been saying that true, but you let her walk all over you just like the rest of us do.
Fine. I suppose I'm partly to blame. But this has to end. Now. Killing monsters is not something to be taken lightly. Ciri must understand that, if she's to become one of us.
Killing monsters is not something to be taken lightly. I've always liked just the entire setup of the Witchers, right? As professionals, they take their craft very seriously. Not necessarily like a chivalrous approach. It's a professional one.
Now I see why you were so eager to practice. Strike.
I've always loved the idea of the pendulum as well, like this training course. I mean, it seems like it would be almost impossible, and I'm certainly not the most coordinated person out there, so I'm sure I could never do it, but the thought of being able to try would be really cool.
You're not in this circus.
I imagine
Go
you would
it.
have to feel super competent if you could get even slightly good at that.
Wrong. Footwork. Enough. Get down.
With a flip?
What do you think? All right. Take off the blindfold. You've got work to do. Your reflexes are still slow.
Maybe for a witcher.
Think drowners or striggers will go easy on you because you haven't undergone the mutations? Though in your shoes, I'd fear Vesemir more than any strigger. Disobeying his instructions? Unwise.
Well, yes, but that book was horribly dull.
I know, and you know that's no excuse.
I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Better not. Vesemir said if it does, he'll make you eat a bowl of slugs covered in salt.
You!
Exactly. So you'd best behave. Come on, we'll practice with the others down below.
Shall we run the walls?
Not this time. Believe me, you don't want to keep Vesemir waiting.
Also a great way to sort of opt in, opt out of the tutorial. Nice little immersive way to do that. God damn, these two dudes as well. Just they look like witchers, man. Like they have the scars to show
for
for it.
yourself, young lady?
I'm very sorry, Uncle Vesemir.
Young blood craves action, I understand that. But when you fight a beast, knowledge counts as much as your silver sword. At the very least, you ought to be able to tell a ghoul from an owl ghoul.
By markings, like unto the Panthera tigris that in Zerrikania dwells, and by the sickly paleness of its visage.
So you did read the chapter. Still, you should have asked if...
But you were asleep, Uncle Vesemir.
Don't try to weasel your way out of this.
A witcher must know how to trick his opponent. You said so yourself.
Might have. But don't use my words of wisdom on Vesemir, got it? That's playing with fire.
Fine, we've talked enough. Geralt, you're with me, Lambert with Eskel, Ciri with the dummy.
Again?
Stop groaning and grab a sword. What do you think? Should we start by reviewing the fundamentals or go right to free training?
As much as I actually think this is a very well done tutorial, we're gonna go ahead and skip it. Just generally, I just love
Let's
the
skip straight to free
rapidity of the
training.
motion
No
combat
point
in
going
The
over the
Witcher
basics
3.
again.
Took them a long time to get the combat right, which attempting to do something really unique with the rhythm-based, mouse-based combat, and Witcher 2 was starting to get more into real-time
Whoa,
action,
you really
modern
showed
combat
him,
system,
kid.
but it just needed a lot more polish.
Ciri, get down here.
A little she-devil. Soon as she's back, we'll set her to polishing all the swords at Kaer Morhen.
Jar, glad you could join us. No, that
Find that
Abyssal High
helmet.
Dragon is no joke.
Ciri?
I'm probably going to let more of the cutscenes and dialogue just play. I mean, normally I'm interspersing a
sure
lot
to
of
find every
commentary,
last blade for
but
you.
yeah, The Witcher 3.
What the?
It is a solo stream, yeah. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be, like I said, a full playthrough for The Witcher 3, but I needed something for this week. Skyrim modded stream is not quite ready to go. Katie was out this weekend, and so I've been personally getting back into The Witcher 3. So I thought it might be nice to like show the beginning of the game, and then that way, if we do decide to do it as a series, we'll have started from the beginning.
I've long awaited this, and you, White Wolf.
No!
still marvel at so much of the detail for this game. Again, came out in 2015. I mean, even by today's standards, the poly count on the mesh for something like his starting armor is so good. Like, the resolution on the individual textures is so good, even by 2019 standards. This looked beyond insane in 2015.
Way off. We've got time.
Started in the guest room at Kaer Morhen. I was relaxing in the tub, and next to me...
Triss?
Yennefer. Funny, isn't it? She's never been there. Seemed so real in my dream, though.
Was she nagging you about something? True to life, indeed. We'll find her.
Nicole with a timeless question. Bread or no beard? I know that's a typo, but I couldn't resist. I like bread, and as for the beard, you know, when the game first came out, it was like 100% beard. Like, Geralt just had to have that, rock out that full beard. If you know, in the books, like, some people debate, like in the upcoming Netflix show, should he have the beard? Should he not have the beard? Some people say he should be clean shaven because that's how he is in the books. That's not true. In the books, Geralt points out that he doesn't like having a full beard or not having a beard at all because it irritates him, which means at times he has a beard. Like in the Tower of Swallows, he's out in the wilderness with, you know, Regis and Milva and everybody. He has a beard at that point because they're sort of not lost, but they're traversing through the woods. So at times Geralt has a beard, but he prefers not to have one if he can help it. So that's kind of that is my answer for the game most of the time, is if he's growing a beard, I don't go out of my way to shave it, but if he happens to be passing by a barber, he gets it shaved.
I know we will. That's not what worries me. You've seen her tracks. She's at full gallop all the time. Breakneck speed through wild lands, devastated battlefields. She's in a hurry to get somewhere. Or fleeing something. Either way, it means trouble of some sort.
Redbeard, yeah.
I'd be surprised if she wasn't in trouble. She's always poked her nose in beehives. Courtly intrigues here, mages' conspiracies there. What do you expect?
Don't know. Guess I thought once we were finally reunited, things would be calm. At least for a while.
Calm? With Yennefer? Good luck.
In the dream, I went and found Ciri. Then we trained.
Those were the days. Little she-devil. I've trained kids who were faster, stronger, but none had her character. Didn't end well, did it? Your dream?
No. A wild hunt appeared, attacked Ciri. I couldn't move, stood there like a stump.
It was just a dream.
More important question, Yen or Triss? I mean, my canon is Yen, 100%. I just think Yennefer is the classic choice. But look, Triss is so damn likable, you know? So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see.
That's the problem. It was more. In the past, when Ciri'd appear in my dreams, something was wrong. She was in danger.
We taught her how to defend herself from anything, wraiths included.
Be dawning soon. Time to go.
Wait. Show me the letter from Yennefer. Might have overlooked some hint in there.
Didn't overlook anything. We were meant to meet in Willoughby. That's what she wrote. Meanwhile, one army or another burned the village to the ground. All we can do is follow her trail, so...
Stop talking for a minute and give me the letter. Oh, how about that? It does smell of lilac and gooseberries.
You were gonna read it, not sniff it.
We must meet. Soon. Willoughby near Vizima. Nothing else to guide us there.
You guys are all asking about Triss
I still have
or
the
Yennefer.
unicorn.
I mean, the real question is, what about Shawnee? Okay, that's the real question you guys are forgetting.
That's private. Very private.
Aha, I understand. At least I think I do. Maybe not entirely, but perhaps that's for the best.
Back on topic. How's it look? How far behind Yennefer are we?
2 or 3 days. Trail's fresh, but it looks like it leads towards the main road. Could be muddled there. Wait, hear that?
I hear it. I smell it.
Here we go.
Ghouls.
On.
Come on, come closer. What? Lost your nerve?
Come on, this here. Hold your weight, man. Come on. That's weird. Getting too close. Alright, man. Girl's gotta do all the work here.
Come on, come closer.
Of course. When armies pass, necrophages follow. Let's go before any more show up.
Somebody's saying a tad laggy there. Well, I think I might have gotten a couple of frame drops on my end as well. So hopefully it's not too bad on the stream. One thing real quick. Yeah, you know, it is it's a big game. Somebody saying you want to play it again but don't want to take all the time to re-download it again. Yeah, it's pretty hefty file size. Let me make sure I've got. Yeah, let me put that up on my screen so I can see CPU usage. Maybe with some extra enemies on screen, there was too many CPU cycles being
Ever
taken
tell
up,
you about this
and it
sorcerer I
affected
knew?
OBS. But
Couldn't stop talking about how useful they are as creatures.
Because you can brew potions from their blood?
No, because by eating rotting corpses, they prevent epidemics. Bird skull in black crystal. Why do I think this is Yen's?
so here we can see we've got a toggle. Bye. Now that's always just helpful. Off and just kind of pops up conditionally.
That's it, Roach.
TJ, hi, welcome. Glad you could join us. Yeah, okay, so that's probably what it is. We are definitely at full capacity on the CPU right now. OBS is taking up everything that the game is not, and so who knows, there might actually be bottleneck for OBS. Let me know if it's continually laggy for the stream. I might have to drop this down to 720.
War's not exactly going our way.
We have a side.
The Northern Realms.
Radovid's realms, don't you mean? Temeria and Edirn are no more.
Radovid's pledged to restore the old borders as soon as he wins the war.
Believe that?
Gotta believe something. It's what keeps us going.
So gruesome. I mean, they really with the bodies hanging
Giddy up.
that sporadically throughout Novigrad, Velen. It really just colors in just how brutal this war has been.
Let's go!
It is really something. You can really lose time to the game very quickly. DJ in the chat saying, "I would love to play this game again, but I have a life I want to get back to." Yeah, that can happen to you. This game has such a way of drawing you in. It handles exploration and side quests maybe about as well as any open world ever. Side quests blend so seamlessly in The Witcher 3 that it really became the gold standard of open world in a lot of ways, surpassing Skyrim. There we go. Time for something a bit more challenging. Have this arch Griffin. Come on. That bird just took a horse. Let's just be very clear about that.
Has it gone?
Yeah. Come out.
Gods, that was close. I was sure I'd end up like my mare.
Provided you got lucky.
Your horse died quickly, but griffins like to toy with their prey. Eat it, alive, piece by piece.
Oh. You'd like a reward, I suppose.
Would be nice.
Could always use a few crowns.
Thing is, I've a meager purse at the moment.
The haircut.
Nilfgaardians
Yeah, that peasant's
requisitioned my
haircut.
goods.
It pops
Now
up quite a few
this.
times in the week. Doesn't really flatter anyone, but that's what they went with.
Here.
Back to the trail.
Like I said, leads to the main road and ends there, muddled.
You seek someone?
Yes, a woman. Medium height, long black hair. Seen anyone like that?
No. But there's an inn here in White Orchard. Sole one around. Gets its share of travelers. Perhaps you'll learn something there?
Hey,
Not a
Dean.
bad idea.
That bowl cut is
Especially
hot.
since
I don't
that
know what you're
wound
talking
needs
about.
cleaning.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, apparently.
But sure, could use a good rye. Nice and cool, you know, straight from a cellar.
Let's go.
Witchers, monster hunting, and the favorite Witcher pastime. Yeah, White Orchard is such a great starting area, to be quite honest. I think they really sort of did themselves quite the service with the sort of mini
So,
area
a griffin this close
introing
to
you
the
to the open
village?
world. It worked really well.
Strange.
My thoughts exactly. In a forest to the mountains, sure, but here? And near the main road.
Maybe it's the war. Corpses everywhere, the stench of blood, burnt flesh. Drives monsters crazy sometimes.
Men, too. We need to watch ourselves in White Orchard, and we should leave as soon as we learn anything.
Sits in the old...
My gran told me about a Smith boy. Lad went missing one day, so folk nabbed a witch when it was
Whoa there, Vesemir.
Witcher had naught to do with it. What did the folk do?
Kane says, I would die for more games in this world. 100% correct. And I think that they have alluded to it at certain points in time. Speaking of CD Projekt Red, I truly hope that they have some more things to do. I think this is the perfect end to Geralt and Ciri's story, but I would love to see a game where you create your own character, create your own protagonist, and come up as a youngster, as an apprentice Witcher, and play through a trilogy of games. That would be phenomenal.
That is a coat of arms, the Temerian lilies. They've a right to hang there.
This ain't Temeria no more, old man. It's Nilfgaard now.
My arse it is.
What? Witches?
I'll not drink with Weaverlaw's freaks.
Evil Arst. Arst.
Beg your pardon for those thugs.
No need. We're used to it.
Folk are jumpy round here. Armies just passed through. Now a Griffin's prowling about.
Already had the pleasure. One mean beast.
Mean? Light way for a hunter to put it. Clawed Lena so bad, poor thing's 1 foot in the grave. But does no good to wallow in misfortune. How can I be of service?
With a drop of vodka for me.
And you? Something to wet your tongue?
Show me what you got behind the counter.
Yeah, Geralt. Also, yeah, so talking about the rights between Andrzej Sapkowski, who wrote the novels, as far as I know, the rights for any video game property for The Witcher are completely belong to CD Projekt Red. The way I understand the story, and I don't have the perfect details of it, but the way I understand the story is that because they were sort of short on funds for development, they offered him a back-end deal, so he would have gotten some percentage of whatever the game's made, and he apparently turned them down and found that that was laughable because he thought that video games were stupid and that no one would ever want to play a video game based on, you know, what he considers to be more complex novels, etc., etc. So he said, no, give me X amount of money up front, and they ended up giving him a lump sum. I don't remember what it was. It was something like, I don't know. I don't want to misquote the number, but it was a high enough amount of money for a typical person to think of, but compared to how much you would have made getting a back-end piece of profits from the game, it was nothing. It'd be like, whatever it was, 10,000, 50,000, whatever it was. And so, yeah, basically he lost a ton of money because he wanted money up front instead of taking a percentage of the profits. And now, when you listen to him in interviews, kind of tries to claim that he got ripped off in some sort of way, which is not true. They offered him a piece of the profits a long time ago, and I think after the fact he tried to come back and say he wanted a piece of the profits, which is kind of ridiculous. That has changed. So yeah, I would love to see Big Red continue.
There a contract on that Griffin?
Nay, not at the moment. Used to be. Soon as a beast had built a nest nearby, the alderman would start a collection, or go to the Lord for help. Now the aldermen don't use the privy without asking the Black One's permission first. And seems they hanged the Lord. So no contract.
Shame. We might have done something, but not for free.
Looking for a woman. Raven-haired, violet eyes, dresses in black and white. Riding in from Willoughby. And, strange as it sounds, lilac and gooseberries might have smelled that.
I've not seen nor smelt such a lady. Believe I'd remember.
Yeah, especially hard to forget this one.
Plenty of travellers about, though. Folk from all over. Might be worth your while to ask after her.
Thanks for everything. Help you bandage that up?
That's
Please.
not necessarily
I'm
the
not
first I've heard of
decrepit
that
Then
Sapkowski
I'll
is
ask
not
about
necessarily the
Yennefer.
friendliest with fans and things like that.
Just remember.
You know, I don't want to
We'd
disparage
rather
the guy.
not
I mean, he
draw any
created a really
attention.
great work of fiction. I'm really glad he did it. I've enjoyed the Witcher novels and collection of stories, and I've really enjoyed the game. So, very grateful for the fact that he made the stories that he did. He doesn't have to be the most jovial, outgoing person. It's not his thing. But, you know, it is a little bit disappointing for fans. I know you want the guy and have a good experience. Apparently, that happens so often. Any. Yeah. Ask travelers about. This is.
I'm looking for someone.
Oh, there you go.
And we seek some peace and quiet.
Out of my face, freak, for your breath sours my beer.
Just want to talk.
You deaf, Stray? No one here'll talk to you.
If it's company you seek, stick that mangy snout of yours in a trough with the pigs.
Show that shit-eater, Micah.
Classy fella.
Raven-haired woman dressed in black and white. Seen her? Talk.
Folks say the lady rode through the village a few days back. Galloping so fast she knocked Radabor into a ditch.
Which way did she go?
Dunno. Lots of tracks leading off the main road. Could have gone anywhere.
Oi, people! The freak's taken Micah's mind!
Uh-huh, and I'll take your tongue if you don't shut up.
Naturally, we have a run-in with particular.
What?
Factions, teams, suits. Similar to clubs and spades, except each suit has its own face cards. There are also special cards. What a waste of time! The Earth shall revolve around the sun before you comprehend these rules.
Got a minute?
Why not? Aldert Geert, assistant professor.
Zura
in
was at the
contemporary
Jedi
history
mind
at
trick.
Oxford
That was
First
Axii, which is one of the
Geralt of
Witcher
Rivia.
signs, which is basically like
Witcher
some
with
basic
tenure.
magic that Witchers could do. So it
I'm looking
affects.
for a woman.
You can
Long
use it in
hair,
combat
dressed
to
in
stun
black and
enemies.
white. Seen anyone like that?
Of course
Essentially.
not. Unlike the populace, I know the horsewoman of war is pure poppycock.
Horsewoman of war. What's that about?
Folks say an omen. A beautiful phantom rides the fields at night, looks as you described her. Armies follow her, and all who cross her path meet with misfortune.
I can vouch for the last bit. Know where they saw her?
No, facts interest me, not fairy tales.
War reached Novigrad yet?
Nope, but it's only a matter of time. Nilfgaard on one bank, Redania on the other, drooling over the city like dogs over a juicy bone.
Many a ruler's choked on that bone.
True. We value our liberty in Novigrad, and we know how to fight for it.
Uh-huh. The scholars especially.
The sword is not the only weapon. Do not forget, architects from our academy designed the city walls. Walls no war machine has ever crumbled.
Not a place I'd ever expect to find a scholar. Take it you're fleeing the war?
Quite the opposite. Chasing it. I'm headed for the front.
Tired of life?
I seek knowledge, which I value more than life itself. I've a thirst no dusty old tomes can quench. I wish to see the Nilfgaardian invasion with my own eyes, understand it, and record it all in my chronicle, my magnum opus.
The Witcher 3 got really good performances out of so many of their actors, and in particular Geralt's dialogue, which I've always thought had a nice touch to the writing, even in The Witcher 1 where it's a little bit rougher. You know, it's not always easy to write a solitary, tough character who has terse dialogue without them sort of slipping into a kind of a generic tough guy motif. But Geralt has a bit of a wryness to him and a bit of an intelligence, quite frankly, that makes him not just seem like a brute. Anyway, just this conversation for this just basically being a sidebar conversation. I always like to remark how high quality the dialogue and the acting is.
Interesting. We need somebody to describe war, what it's really like. Not colorful banners and generals making moving speeches, but rape, violence, and thoughtless cruelty.
Ah, I see you lack the polish of the Academy. Rape and cruelty are details of no import to the war's course. Trinkets on the garment of conflict, one might say.
Tell that to the people whose houses burned down. Gotta go. So long.
A moment, Witcher. You strike me as a man of the world. Are you familiar with Gwent?
No, and I don't have time to learn.
But the rules are quite simple.
Oh, but you do,
Come,
Geralt.
let's play.
You do. I mean, look, Gwent is
Splendid.
part of the
Here's
Witcher
how it's
3
done.
experience. I can't get around anyone who doesn't actually play Gwent when they play the Witcher. I mean, come on. Films. All the basic stuff. Now, I will say, Gwent is... It's a very simple game in the actual Witcher 3 game. When you play the standalone Gwent game, I think so much complexity gets added. Essentially, if you have trouble with Gwent in the base game, very simple. It's all about card count. Always try to have a card advantage. Play the rounds to your advantage. Know how to strategically throw your second round if you need to. Know how to strategically throw your first round if you need to. If you're running up against a monster deck and they just pulled a card that pulls 3 more cards straight out of the deck, you might not even be able to get a card advantage, but you're not going to get into a card disadvantage by throwing that first round strategically if you know that the AI opponent is going to give you the second round strategically, and then you have a better opportunity to go all in on the third round. So knowing how to manage your card count, knowing how to manage rounds, absolutely take advantage of cards that maybe don't have a high total, but they can do things like allow you to pull more cards from your deck, or cards that can revive from your graveyard pile. All those different things are really, really important. Interesting. I've got a bunch of these Hedweni Siege experts, which is interesting because each of them is essentially worth 2 extra points because I've only got 2 other cards that I can play on the siege row. That means the 3 of them, I don't know. I'm not necessarily sold on keeping all of these. I also don't know if I'm even going to want the terrain card because I don't think I have a ton of cards. I don't need 3. I gotta let go. Okay, well that really didn't work out, but we'll see. I normally, in this case, very basic deck. I don't have any cards that are going to be able to get me more cards in the later rounds, so, it's interesting. I might only play, I might play up to here, right? I might just save a couple, 2 or 3 of my higher cards for the final round if I need to. Otherwise, I might play everything I have, and then if I can get a win in the first round, throw the second round, win. But we'll go ahead and start off easy. Nothing much to it. Bess out there. Okay. This might come in handy because so far he's got the entire range. I've got a couple of ranged cards also. Don't know if I want to do that just yet. I kind of wanted to save these experts to use around with these higher seed cards, but please play more. Okay. We'll lose 5. All right, let me see. Okay, let's actually switch. Let's go here. Let's take the lead card. Now, interesting. I would lose them if I play. Hey, Lucas, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Is Katie better than me at Gwent? I don't know how Katie is at Gwent, actually. That'll be interesting. I'm getting into the Gwent, the standalone Gwent card game. I was talking to Fusselcorn and Jamie about whether or not they might want to do that. Might be what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I was really hoping they would actually pay another. I think I might be going almost all in on this. How they do. Yeah, they're just not playing anymore in the range area. So I'm gonna keep going in one more round. If not, they might pass. Nope, here we go. One more on the range. That's enough for me. Let's go ahead and use the leader ability. Play an impenetrable fog. Drops my opponent down by 6. I've now got a 12-point lead. They'll probably pass. Spoke too soon. And there they go with the clear weather. Okay. Woo! That frost card's not going to do anything for me. The torrential rain would actually hurt me. So, here's a question. Do I go all in on this one? Real question. If I pass, they've got to go at least 2 cards, I'm thinking. But if they do those 2 cards, God, that would not be great. Also, the really interesting thing about the Nilfgaardian deck is Nilfgaardians will win a tie, so I have to play a card on the second round to win the second round, which they will almost certainly throw. And then potentially, because I think in the base game Gwent, I went first, so they're going to go second no matter what. Which means they may play a card higher than 5, in which case I may have to play both my cards to win the second round, in which case the Northern Realms deck will get a card because I won the round. Good lord. I'm really tempted to go ahead and pass here. Might be a mistake, but I'm going to pass. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. I think they had to play too many cards to get that win. Yep. And they've got to pass, or they've got to... Ooh. Interesting. Very interesting. Good old Kira Metz here. Got to pass. What's the ability? Torrential rain. Right. Okay. Very good. Okay, so now we've got a win here, and I will get an extra card for having one round. Very good. I mean, basically nothing to it. They don't have any cards. All he's got is terrain. There we have it. Might have been able to get a win the other way, but that worked out for us, so. Yeah, that's one of those things. Card management, round management. Think a few steps ahead, you'll get the win.
Well, you've a knack for this game.
Well, that I do, sir.
If you ever find yourself in Oxenfurt and wish to play a true master, ask for Stepan. A simple innkeep by trade, but a true maestro when it comes to Gwent.
I'll remember that. Thanks.
Oh, good, we got it. Another thing to keep in mind is try to keep the number of unit cards in your deck relatively low. So you need to have a minimum of 22 cards in your deck. So when I add Zoltan Chive, we can go into our front line or close combat unit. And we can see, you know, we've got like a Redanian foot soldier who's only worth 1 attack power. I would say go ahead and take that one out, right? You want to have the highest likelihood possible of having stronger cards. So we only need 22 cards. It's actually better to have a minimum number of cards in most cases. You know, you can go up to 25, 26 maybe, depending on if you have a lot of utility cards, cards that have function other than just powerful, having a high number on them. But in this case, you know, this Redanian foot soldier doesn't have any other benefit to them, just card basically, and so it's fine to just replace them with a card. You keep the card count low in your deck, higher likelihood of getting a stronger. All right, and then a character known very well, Mirror Master himself, Mr. Griffin.
Looking for a woman.
Like everyone.
Not like everyone. And not just any woman. Mine smells of lilac and gooseberries, dresses in black and white.
2 schnapsies. It'll lift your spirits.
Fine, I'll have a drink. Can we cut to the chase? You seen her or not?
Yennefer of Vengerberg.
Never mentioned her name.
Yet you described her perfectly. And once I hear something, I never forget. Can't help it.
How do you know Yennefer?
What a question. Master Dandelion's ballads, of course. The only way a humble merchant might hope to rub up against greatness. Unless, that is, he's as lucky as I am.
And runs into a very patient witcher.
Into Geralt of Rivia himself. The Butcher of Blaviken.
Yeah, the neck positioning's a bit weird here, I think, on both. Also, let's see, Kane mentioned that the strategy is really not all that much in Gwent. You're right. Once you actually get the hang of Gwent, it is actually not a very deep strategy in the base game. However, that's why I'm actually starting to get into standalone Gwent title, which does change the rules and adds more complexity and sort of takes that element of throwing rounds and game that as much. It's pretty simple. Play a few cards in the first round, try to win while spending minimal cards, throw the second round, and then instead save powerful cards for the last round. It's not, you can sort of rinse and repeat that in most cases. Sometimes fighting against monster decks is a little bit different, Elven decks a little bit different, or Scoia'tael decks a little bit different, but In the standalone Gwent game, there's more strategy to it. I quite like that. I might have to stream.
Recognize me from Master Dandelion's ballads too?
To your health.
What do you do? Who are you?
A mangy vagrant. Gaunter Odim, at your service.
Vagrant. That a profession now?
Once a merchant of mirrors. The madding crowd dubbed me Master Mirror, or the Man of Glass.
You seen Yennefer?
Deepest apologies, but I must ask. Is this about love?
None of your business.
Yes. As a vagrant, I deserve no explanation.
What do you know? Tell me.
Before you appeared, it never occurred to me that might have been Yennefer. Who would have thought?
Get to the point.
An Nilfgaardian scout from the local garrison saw
Sekhmet? I hope I'm pronouncing the username right there. Sekhmet says, Jordan, I need all of your insights on this game. You mean The Witcher or Gwent? because Gwent, I think I might actually have more insights on Gwent at this point.
Had a terse exchange with the garrison commander and raced off.
Where to?
I'm not omniscient.
I do have all of the DLCs installed. So yes.
Thanks.
We men of the road must stick together. Perhaps one day I'll be in trouble and you'll be nearby to help.
It's amazing how well they set up Gaunter. I assume it's because they already knew that they were working on Hearts of Stone, but... right, so now... Ask about... I think I can go and talk with... And... Start outside.
Yes? What is it, Wolf?
Realize it's been half a year since we hunted down that fiend in Varun?
Yes, though that was more than a fiend. What was that bastard's name? Drugan? May the soil lie light upon him. Things used to be simpler. Monsters were bad, humans good.
I mean, both games, Jordan, both games. I have a lot of insights on The Witcher. I'm a fan of the books. I'm a fan of all three of the games, even the Euro jank that plagues The Witcher 1. I'm incredibly excited for Cyberpunk. I know that's not Witcher related, but playing through a CD Projekt Red game just gives me so much hope for how are we going to see a leap forward with Cyberpunk 2077 as we saw 4 years ago when this game came out. Because again, this is a game that we're playing in 2019 that came out in 2015, and I think it stands up. You know, it towers over a lot of modern RPGs as far as the aesthetic quality, the graphical quality, the quality of the storytelling, the acting, the openness, the fluidity, and how well woven in all the side quests are to the open world, and how well they mesh on top of the main quest. So, you know, we could see a major leap forward, cyberpunk sci-fi genre. Next year, so I'm very excited for that. But yeah, I love the Witcher lore. I love it's a unique fantasy property. Great dark fantasy.
See you later, Vesemir.
Done drinking?
Mm-hmm.
Then fuck off.
Don't want your kind here.
Better round up someone else to help. 3 of you don't stand a chance against me.
What? I could fuck you up by myself.
If I had a bag over my head and my hands tied behind... Actually, no, not even then.
Chet, Lesh, back off. I'll teach this vagrant a lesson. Man on freak.
Damn it. Nice meeting you.
That's just it. Day in, day out, tavern's empty. Where's Elsa get her coin, I ask?
That's it, Roach.
What happens, I'm telling you.
You took bigger bollocks than the moonlight.
Hey there.
Voidemar, will you raise a glass with me?
It's Durban now.
It's raining and pouring, Emperor Mir's snoring.
Damn witches.
Faster.
Goodman's boy, who was a merchant, traveled to the Philippines.
Hey-ya! Giddy up. Whoa there, Roach. Slow now. Come on, come closer.
Oh yeah, wait, no, sorry, I accidentally muted the mic. I don't know why I muted it earlier, but it was on mute. I was talking the entire time about my strategy against that warg. You could not hear it. I was giving you in-depth strategy on the fight that was going on, but it's now lost to time forever. All right, let's. This pack here is going to be problematic, but I need to walk through here, and I don't seem to be attacking. Oh, here we go.
Lost your nerve?
Back this up, create space. That's the dodge on my part. They are quite effective at rounding. And you kind of just got to find the holes in their defenses and then just take them down one by one. And try. They're good. I mean, they are actively trying to circle around you. It's really great about the enemy AI in this game. They're employing their own strategy.
How you like that silver?
This is another dumb dodge on my part. Sometimes you kind of have to thread the needle, so to speak, dodging, and if you don't do that just right, getting tagged. But Quen kind of helps a bit. Ooh. Alright, now we're just down to 2, but we're also almost dead. That's a problem. And again, I am still level 1, these are level 5, they're guarding a treasure, etc. etc. Go. They're quite spry, too. Why does Quen not last long? I knew they were going to tag me a couple of times, but ridiculous. Being under leveled. Get back over here. Where you going, homeboy? Get over here. A cat? Come on.
Time to end this.
It's actually, yeah, these were a nice little challenge here. Goodness. Okay, let's drink another water for some healing and alright, we got some crafting material. Not bad, especially. Pretty much anything in dog tallow. Useful in the beginning of the game. Alright, let's go talk to some Nilfgaard.
Is it true? Northern women bathe by
But once...
Military camp. No locals allowed without the express consent of the garrison commander.
I look like a local to you?
You look like trouble.
Dead wrong. I make trouble go away. I'm a witcher.
A witcher? Captain Peter Sagwin Levy is in the tower. Turn right, past the gate.
Guessing your captain's got work for me.
This is the army, Nordling. There is no guessing. To the tower. Go.
Twice? Yeah, no, it's way more than twice. It's way more than twice. I think it was twice in a row on a couple of streams on Mass Effect Andromeda. Oh yeah, also I forgot. I think I've got a little cloak mod. Yeah, there you go. Because in the E3 trailer, he actually had the cloak, so you... add a cloak and a hood. Because it is raining out, you know.
We must requisition a share of your harvest.
Aye, Your Excellency.
I know. How much grain will your village give?
Whatever you say, Your Excellency.
Look at my hands. Look. See the calluses? These are not the hands of an excellency, but of a farmer. So we speak peasant to peasant. How much can you give?
40 bushels. There'd be more, sir, but our lads, the Temerians, that is, took from us earlier and...
You will give 30, and that will do. Let us settle on it, and I wish to see the transport soon.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you kindly.
I summoned only the Elderman and the smith, Willis. But it is said he is a dwarf. You are too tall to be him.
Plan to requisition something from him, too?
If it is necessary, yes, of course. We are at war, in case you have not noticed. Who are you? Speak!
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher.
Vatgern. This explains why I did not hear your footsteps. What do you seek here?
Yennefer of Vengerberg. Where was she headed?
That is a military secret.
Haven't thrown me out yet. Haven't called the guards. So go ahead. What's your price?
There is a Griffin in the area.
So
slay it. And then I shall see what I can do.
Why do you care about this Griffin?
Because I care about people. The beast has killed 10 already, including a few of my men. To hunt it, I would need to mobilize the entire garrison, comb the woods, organize a batu. Simply impossible.
Too big a hassle?
No, too high a risk. I cannot disperse my forces. Temeria's army we have crushed, but its common folk remain, ready to answer a call to arms. So, as to this Griffin, I can sit on my hands, or hire a professional.
It's a deal. Some questions before I start. Know where the Griffin has its lair?
It kept to the Vulpine Woods at first. I sent a patrol there, 5 young men. A hunter found them 2 days on. They only recognized them because they wore our plate. Since then, the Griffin has grown bold. Attacks in villages, fields, on the main road.
Meaning it's abandoned its lair. Gonna have to set a trap.
I judge from your tone this will not be easy. What do you require?
I'll need bait. A specific herb. Buckthorn. Scent should lure the Griffin from 10 miles off.
Buckthorn? I do not know this. But I am not yet fluent in the common tongue.
Mm-hmm. Probably mastered the basics, though. Hands up. Kill them.
No. First came idioms. Don't play with fire, for example. Go to Tomira, an herbalist. She lives near the crossroads. She will aid you.
Need more information about this Griffin. Its sex, why it's abandoned its lair.
Shall I bring you witnesses?
They won't say anything I don't already know. I need to go where your men died. Look around. What's the name of the hunter who found them?
Mislav. He has a hut south of the village, very near the wood. Helpful fellow. A little strange, though.
Tamira and Mislav. Thanks.
Es sunt jakten.
I thought more time had passed in game. It's like really dark though, just due to the storm. Okay, so fine. Herbalist.
Password.
Dunno any.
So, out for a little walkie, eh? Counting the Emperor's swords to lull you to sleep? Well, in the army, we've a place for nosy ramblers. The scaffold.
And thick-skulled quartermasters? They got a place?
You're clearly skilled at banter. And haggling? You got a knack for that as well?
Show me what you're peddling. So long.
Poor dark.
All right. Oh, nice door physics. It's all right. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I might have been a little bit far away from the microphone. I have a tendency to sometimes lean further back than I should when I have a controller.
We have much work to do.
Okay. Also, I found that, like, on this run through, I don't know what type of build I would actually do for this, but on the last playthrough I did, I ended up doing like a pretty alchemy heavy build, and I have a tendency to just start compulsively collecting herbs. Like, it's hard for me to pass any sort of plant or flower that I know could end up being cool. I will say, if you've never done like a bomb build or like a really heavy potions build in The Witcher 3, or even a signs build, I really recommend focusing on that at least. It makes, I would say, especially when you're doing one that's heavily focused on signs, especially when you spec out Geralt to be able to use both adrenaline and stamina for signs, it's really quite fun.
Hey there.
I would say my favorite build is still like a very heavily sword-based one, straight up. Especially with fast attacks. This calling for, and this one doesn't take too long. An interesting diversion.
What happened?
Monsters! Monsters from the swamp! Folk said the road was fraught with peril, but I wouldn't listen. Got my comeuppance now.
Less moaning, more details. What happened, and how can I help? And remember, I don't work for free. Witcher's code and all.
Well,
so far we've got me as 9 feet tall and also 3'6". It's a lot of room in between there. I'm about
I
6'1",
went
if anyone
flying
really
and the
wants to
horse
know.
and cart rolled on. Then I heard bubbling, neighing, slurping. Something came out from the muck, devoured Asher, hooves and all. No doubt my goods are still on the cart, but I'm too afeard to go and see. Thought maybe you. I'm most concerned about a little box. Bring it to me, I beg you.
Fine, I'll go. Let you know if I find that box.
Well, let's track this, and it should cross the way and go fight. So. Go.
Cart tracks. Rode off into the swamp.
A little L&D and then
Here's the cart.
surprised I'm not attacked by fucking.
Carts riddled with arrows. Interesting. I should take a look around. An arrow. Didn't mention this.
And hopefully you guys will remember a little bit about that NPC. Because this is totally optional. I mean, you can just come here, get the guy's box, go back to him, finish the main quest. Or...
Carts riddled with arrows.
You can dig around a little bit. Quite what I... It's a good, almost like a tutorial side quest to kind of demonstrate.
Square in the neck. Good shot. Either the merchant's got serious memory problems, or he's lying.
I quite like my mic. I am moving sort of away from it periodically, which is probably affecting things currently, but it's a Blue Yeti. It's something special. It's good enough. And if I was going to get something better, I would really want to invest on something quite nice. And don't know if I'm going to do that just yet. I think it might even be more useful to get a like a adjustable boom arm that I can use to sort of move it so that it's not on the stand. Because the way that my desk is, it's not comfortable to get close to the mic all the time. Oh, that's right. We do want to get the guy's box in. Parked. Oh, here we go.
Must be that box he mentioned. Splattered with blood. Human blood.
I can't believe I searched that whole area without actually getting attacked by drones. Alright, homeboy. Spill.
Oh, and you find the box?
Yeah, found your priceless chest. And someone who looks an awful lot like a cart driver, with an arrow through his neck. No dryads in these swamps, and never known a drowner or a water hack to use a bow. So lacking any other suspects, I'm guessing.
Watch out! Behind you!
Really, bruh?
There's nothing behind me. I'm a witcher, I'd have heard it. Just like I can hear your heart, which is pounding, like a liar's. Best hope you're a better rider than you are a liar.
One of the things that just never, ever really works well about the chase sequences is Roach just does not run to you appropriately. If I whistle for Roach, like, Roach just does not run appropriately. Doesn't.
Gotta get him out of here.
What the hell?
Wake up.
I don't know what that was.
See? Can't run from the truth. Not even on horseback. Now who are you, and why'd you attack that cart?
Private First Class John Giermer, Temerian 6th Division, 2nd Regiment. Disbanded, but still active. Underground, in the woods. That was a medical transport. I'd be damned if it reached the Black Ones. And the medicine, our lads could use it too. We've many ill among us. You let me go, and they might live, and fight once more for a free North.
Now here comes again. I say this is a great example of why this is a good side quest to sort of intro you into side quests or just quests in general. I can turn him into the Nilfgaardians, right? Because he was trying to steal from them and killed some of their people. I can let him take what he essentially stole from them because the Nilfgaardians. If you're not familiar with The Witcher and the Witcher lore, the Nilfgaardians are the invading force. They are sort of the de facto evil empire in this universe. It doesn't mean everything that they do is necessarily wrong, but more often than not, if you're looking for a standard bad guy antagonist group, it's going to be the Nilfgaardians. So Nilfgaardians generally bad. They are the invading force. You could say just let him do it. He's helping other people who are sick or injured. The Nilfgaardians are bad. But also there is the element of sort of Witcher neutrality. And in the lore, the Witchers are supposed to not get involved in politics, not get involved in military affairs. You hunt monsters, you take contracts from anyone, and you stay out of it otherwise. The one that I know might seem most tempting is to say, you can go, but I'm going to keep the medicine. I mean, at that point, I'm taking it then. So what's really the point in doing that? I've tried different options here all the way. In this case, I think I'm inclined to go more with the Witcher neutrality standpoint, in which case I didn't steal it, and I'm not going to get involved. He shouldn't be doing it, but it's not my problem kind of a thing. I'm not helping him. I'm just sort of staying out of the way. But the problem is you already got the box for him after he lost it, so it's an interesting dilemma. So, what do you all think? Is it more neutral to just stay out of the way and just let him go on? Or is it more neutral to say, you didn't have the medicine before, you tricked me into getting the medicine from the lockbox for you, and so in order to sort of leave the situation as untouched as I found it, I've got to take the medicine from him and let him go? I could see it either way. What does the chat think? Let him go or take the medicine and then let him go? I'm not going to turn him into the Nilfgaardians because I feel like that's helping them. But what do you say? Let him go or take the medicine and let him go? Okay, Delilah says he would have found someone else anyway, so let him go. Interesting. Okay. All right, we got Ashara and Mai saying let him go. Okay, okay. Any other thoughts on this? I'm inclined to also say let him go, but not to be nice about it, but more just kind of that Witcher mentality of this is your deal. I'm not going to help you or stop you, kind of a thing. Okay, Kane is saying he killed an innocent. He shouldn't get off free. That's a very interesting point. Another person saying let him go and not take meds. Yeah, I think that's how most of you are leaning. I can see all the different options. Taking to the Nilfgaardians is my least favorite, but I can still see the rationale for it. In this case, I'm going to go with just saying, hey, you know what? It would have been better if I didn't run into you at all. Do what you're going to do. Not my problem. You can go.
Fine. Go. And may you and your soldier buddies hiding in the bushes be victorious in your struggle against Nilfgaard.
You've a vile sense of humor. But you're a decent man. Here, the gold I promised. Use it well. Drink to the silver lilies.
The problem here in this case is that you do get paid for it, and so it's kind of hard to then claim total neutrality. But anyway, again, there's no the good thing about it is that there's no completely perfect answer either way, and there will be repercussions for that no matter what you do.
Kings do the fighting.
Hey ya!
All right, let's go talk to this herbalist.
I think those plums are
Bad time?
Not at all. Hand me the beggar tickets. The red bloom. Well, well, one versed in herbs.
Probably saying too much, but I know a bit. For instance, that beggar tick's poisonous.
In large doses. Small ones soothe pain and bring forth pleasant dreams. Which is all I can hope to do for her.
Griffin do that to her?
Delina. Yes. Attacked her at night. She was walking in the woods.
At night? Through the woods? In wartime?
Meeting a boy. The young, you know, do foolish things for love. Wounds are healing, but she will die. Blood's pooling in her skull. Nothing my bruise can do to help.
Oh, this is another one that really kind of gives you a pretty interesting and imperfect set of choices.
Could try to help her with one of my potions. Swallow can heal internal hemorrhages.
But?
Witcher's potions aren't for humans.
She'll die as it is.
Yes. A peaceful death soothed by your concoctions. If I give her Swallow and something goes wrong, the whole village will hear her screams.
I understand. Do as you will.
Looking for buckthorn. Know if it grows anywhere around here?
Bottom of the river, where the channel's widest. But you do know that once out of the water...
It'll stink worse than a week-old carcass. Counting on it. I'm hunting the Griffin. Need the buckthorn for bait.
I was thinking... A few years ago we had trouble, drowners under the bridge. Whole village had to pitch in for a witcher. Who now can afford the bounty on a Griffin's head?
Captain Peter Sars, something.
Ah, good to know the Black One's looking out for our welfare.
Nilfgaard values one thing. Order. Griffin's disturbing that. It's gotta go.
Yes. First I'll tend to the monsters, then to the folk.
Not from here, are you? A lot of bitterness in you. Too much for someone who spent her life in a hut in the middle of nowhere.
True. And you're in a hurry. Elsewise you'd not use bait, just wait for the Griffin to attack again.
Believe we could have an interesting conversation.
Maybe next time.
Hey now. I'll need.
Yes?
Got any herbs you're willing to sell?
I'm sure I can find something.
Okay, I low-key ship Geralt and that healing lady. You know, that can tend to happen. Let's... Really, do I not have a single Drowner Brain? I must have... There's like Celandine right outside her.
Farewell.
Celandine. On fire. Alright, well, I guess we can buy the rest off of her.
Yes?
Got any herbs you're willing to sell?
I'm sure I can find something.
Alright, and now I've just got...
Farewell.
Oh, don't you mind me just popping in to say hi because I don't want spoilers. Hope it's a good stream. That is such an appropriate username for the purpose of this. For just popping in really quick. Yeah, here we go. Buckthorn, near the riverbed. I'm almost certain they're drowners near the riverbed, right? Taken. Go a bit quick. God, that is the most 2019 RPG fan message ever. Okay, the healing lady is called Tamira and you can't bang her, just Googled it. Ah, that's the world we live in, isn't it? I guess I'm gonna have to. So it is. Well, let's not dive with the full cloak on. That's a quick guy. If you heal that girl with the potion, will melt her brain. Does it always melt her brain? I thought there was some way where it sometimes doesn't. I can't remember. Also, I do this. It's the weirdest thing ever, but for immersion purposes, I just can't believe that somebody could go diving in armor and not die, so I just always do this whenever Geralt's gotta dive. It's like immersion OCD. All right, and now we've got Hunter. There's also Pan Lady, but just come on, man. Really need to do Pan Lady. And I would still really like to run into some drowners. Anywhere there's all this water and it's nighttime, no drown. Fantastic. What's a guy got to do to? All right, let's go find our hunter fellow, and then we're getting close to 2 hours here, so probably gonna up. But maybe we can go talk to the hunter. They call it.
And Medeta, Esther, Novigrad.
It is getting a bit later in game time, and it's a little bit easier to do this part. Not pitch black, so didn't do that. Ashara asks a really great question. How well has The Witcher 3 aged for being almost 5 years old now? About 4 years old. I think it's aged great, personally. I think it's still graphically very, very good to look at, and I think as far as open world design, story-driven role-playing, also the action in a role-playing game, very, very good just across the board. I think it's, in a lot of ways, I've been saying for years, it's the best game of all time, and I think you can make that argument in a lot of different directions, but I think that The Witcher 3, for me personally, is the one that I'm most give that title to.
Hey there.
Anyone home?
Must be out hunting.
Footprint?
Trail's fresh. Mislav just left home. You, Mislav?
Shh. Hear that?
Wolves? No. Wild dogs.
Yes. More dangerous than wolves.
Dogs more dangerous than wolves? Don't think so.
It's the truth. Know why?
No, but I guess you're about to tell me.
Wolves hunt to fill their bellies. Wild dogs kill for sport.
Just like humans.
Aye. They've learned much from us. Why not cruelty too?
David Smith asks, what do you think of the modding scene for Witcher 3? It's good, but it is disappointing. I think it's one of the best games of all time, potentially the best game of all time, certainly along with Red Dead Redemption 2, I'd say the best game of the past 5 years. And yet, given that it doesn't have a fraction of the modding, mod content and modders as, say, Skyrim or even Fallout 4. Which is interesting. I know maybe the tools aren't exactly as easy to use as Bethesda's tools, but it's not like CD Projekt has tried to stop people from modding. So it's wide open, and I don't know. I would like to see more people. Right?
I'm hunting bigger game.
It might also just be that it doesn't need as many things fixed as Skyrim. Could be that also.
Ah, I see. You a Witcher. That monster slayer they's talking about in the village.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you, sure. But, I gotta kill those mutts before they hurt someone.
Will you help? That is, if you don't mind blunting your silver blades on them?
Sure. Griffin's not going anywhere.
No. Dogs might, though. So step careful now. Come on.
These dogs been a problem for a while now?
Since the war started. Soldier on the march. He'll stop to rape a woman, strangle her, kill her man for a chuckle, even butcher a cow. But a dog, a kick in passing, no more. So these stray mutts form packs. They're gaunt, guts stuck to their spines, covered in scabies, but they just won't die, 'cause they're clever. More so than foxes. And they hate men something fierce. Too late. Attack tonight.
Oh, what? How if I actually had my part of the controller? Okay, we gotta get some distance. Yeah, and these bots.
Come on, come closer.
Down because it's very fast. Circle here, and yeah, the slowdown really helps. Dogs, especially.
Dieter.
You know him.
Did we still continue to have lag during
served at the Lord's Manor together,
battles, everyone?
where the
I know
Black
some people
Army's
mentioned that
encamped
early
now.
on.
He was a stable hand, I was the Lord's hunter. But that was before... well, a long time ago.
Before what?
Before they drove me from the village.
What did you do?
Nothing. I'm a freak. Sorry. I'd rather not talk about it.
Don't have to then. So, can you show me where you found the Nilfgaardians? Griffin, know anything about it?
Oh, not much. It's not my kind of game.
You're his kind, though. Survival instincts alone ought to make you care.
I walk silent through the woods. No Griffin can hear me nor spy me.
Yeah, I would say the density of the foliage is really great in this game. The physics of the trees still looks weird to me. It kind of always has. And a little bit of the depth. Sometimes it can look a little bit flat. But yeah, overall, I think it still holds up really well considering.
"'Twas here. One lay there, by the stump, headless. The other hung from a branch, guts splayed, stretching down to... Watch out for yourself now."
I'll be fine. Not the first Griffin I've dealt with. Not likely to be the last either.
Hope you're right. Good hunting now.
All right, then let's
Ground's black,
quick.
saturated with blood. Nilfgaardians were celebrating. Griffin interrupted them. A camp.
I did always like the investigate. It's a little bit simple, it's a little bit rudimentary, but fits with the lore, and it's kind of based to just.
These prints are older and deeper, heavily armored. Nilfgaardians, probably. Griffin's nest. What remains of it, at least. Corpse is a couple of weeks old. Still alive when the Griffin brought him here. Took a long time dying. Bones. Horse, dog, human. A few months' worth. Female. Larvae in her wounds have already hatched. Been dead at least a week. Other Griffin must be a male. Thick shaft, dense barbs. A royal Griffin. Beak tips worn. Gray hairs in the coat. 10, 12 years old. Griffins pair off for life when young. Male must be about the same age. Deep cuts over the whole body. Not a drop of blood on the beak or claws. Didn't defend herself. Crept up on her while she slept. Explains why the male I ran into was so aggressive. Hunted the Nilfgaardians down here in the forest first, then started prowling the area. Done all I could. Should talk to Vesemir.
Let me see. How's today?
Burned. Only a human could do this.
And that's right. Alright, so we're a little past 2 hours, which is normally about how long we go, but it just kind of feels like it doesn't make sense to stop right at this point when we're so close to getting to the Griffin. It would probably be nicer to just go ahead and finish that Griffin off, and then we'll stop there, right? So let me see how quickly we can do that. Should just take us about maybe 20 minutes or so. And then we can pause there. Nice. I will, however, still avoid fast traveling because I just generally like to avoid fast traveling, especially with a game like this. The whole point is to get out there and explore, so it's one where I only use fast travel if I really, really need.
Greetings.
Alright, let's go find Vesemir. We'll make our preparation. Can't believe.
Come on.
Right, so water all along. Can make a little detour. Really, if I just go messing around in the water, I'll run it. One would think.
Slow now. Let's go.
The Goodman's boy knows a merchant who travelled to Nilfgaard once. Oh, the strange things he saw.
Yeah? What things?
Okay, well I remember there were none in...
All there were, from dawn to dusk, knowing no rest or comfort.
Whoa there, Roach.
I swear, it's one of those things where if I'm trying to get somewhere quick and not run into drowners, they're just for the place, but if I want, I gotta... life of me. Can't. Oh, here we go. That's what I'm... Also, let's up real quick. Yeah, fast attack is probably... I won't need a level 2. Do I have this stuff right now? There's a couple of good ones here, like Griffin techniques. Adrenaline burst, also quite good. Attack is the best defense, can also be used. But again, basics first. Muscle memory. All right.
How long you gonna make me wait?
That one really reached with that. I'll tell you, I do enjoy the challenge though on Death March because every single encounter with monsters, in a couple of hits, they can do damage. More? Nope, we're not done yet. Come on.
Come on.
Hey, Drowner tongue. Looking for. Oh, I swear. I'll put them. Drowner brain. Okay, there we go. Perfect. There we go. And now we've got some swamp. Perfect. Would I be up for doing a full playthrough of this? Yes. I really would, because I love The Witcher, and I quite a bit like... I just love the lore, I love talking about it, and there's a lot of really interesting points in the story that make for good discussion. Someone earlier in the chat, I'm sorry, I remember the name, someone asked, how do I feel about the representation of magic, mages, sorcerers in The Witcher compared to other fantasy? Quite good, quite unique. I mean, they're appropriately reviled. I like how, you know, they're counted upon as trusted advisors to royalty. I mean, that's a common trope in fantasy, but I think when you think about the creation of the Lodge, this has more to do with The Witcher 2, if anything, right? Like, they're counted upon as advisors to royalty, but if you look at what the Lodge is doing, certainly in the books, but then also in Witcher 2,
Winds howling.
The fact that they sort of specifically conspired to abuse that position of privilege is interesting to me. Also, the way that herbalists kind of get lumped in together, the whole non-human discrimination. I kind of feel like that sort of, at least in The Witcher 3, even though it's not the same thing, it's adjacent. Okay, we have the potion. Right, Vesemir. Got it. Will I be playing with Frostfall? Yes, Frostfall and Campfire are sort of an essential part of all my playthroughs these days. I will be using I Need as well, and a variety of other mods. But yeah, Frostfall is a staple in my load for pretty much every character now, whether it's a hardcore survival playthrough or not.
Slower.
Good lad, Master Witcher. Though he...
Yes. This boy, will he venture out to inspect his grain anytime soon?
What for? Harvest is a long way off yet.
Yes? What is it, Wolf?
Got good news and bad news. Good news first. Captain of the Nilfgaardian garrison knows where Yennefer went.
And the bad's that we have to kill the Griffin for him. What else could he want from two witchers? Go on. Tell me what you know.
Griffin's abandoned its lair. Gotta make a lure, set a trap.
And how's that going?
Got the buckthorn.
Ought to work like a charm. Powerful scent.
More like stench.
City boy. Rotting meat, manure, piss. Standard smells of the countryside. Remember Tredegor? Hunting that Zoogle in the trash heap? You spent half the next day bathing, scrubbing yourself.
How can I forget? You ever gonna stop bringing that up? Learned some things. It's a male, had its nest in the Vulpine Woods. The Nilfgaardians burned the woods down, killed its mate, smashed their eggs. Thought they'd fixed things.
It's always the same. Instead of sending for a professional, they try to do it themselves, only end up making matters worse. Fine. If everything's ready, say the word and we'll get to work.
I'm ready. No point in waiting. Let's find a good spot to ambush it.
Picked one out already. Other side of the stream. There's fields and a grove. Plenty of room and far enough so no one will get in our way.
Good. Meet you there.
Yeah, Amy, Dave, I completely agree. The chainmail looks fantastic. There are some people who have said the real way to do Death March is to do Death March and never change your starting gear. So keep your... And I don't think it's possible to do that with the swords, because it would just take forever. You would be doing one hit point of damage every time. But I do think it's possible to maybe do it with the armor. I remember at one point I almost did that, where I installed a mod that allowed you to upgrade the basic Kaer armor. So you could make it viable up to about maybe level 17, 18, 20, and then at that point it would just stop being the type of armor that you would want to use, and you just kind of have to go in under gear to so to speak. It's an interesting thought. I might do that, but I do like I do like the look of some of the other Witcher gear, in particular the woven Witcher.
A stream, amber waves of grain. Charming place. Perfect for an ambush.
I know how to choose them. So, ready?
Let's start. Wind's good. Bait's scent will spread quickly.
Now all we have to do is wait. Come on. We can cower in the shade of those birches.
So tell me, once we find Yennefer, what'll you do? Got your eye on a contract?
No. I'll go to Kaer Morhen.
Little early to settle in for the winter.
Snows are a way off, yes. And that's what worries me. Nilfgaard's crossed the Pontar in the east. Puts them maybe a week's march from Kaer Morhen. If they reach the valley before snows can cover the passes, well, we need to cover our tracks, hide our paths. Speaking of winter and wintering, think you'll come this year?
Maybe. Might bring a guest.
Kane, do the mobs in The Witcher 3 scale? I don't think they scale much, because I know that there are certain low-level ones that always exist.
Wait, take this.
A crossbow.
Won it in a card game while you ran around. Might come in handy.
A Witcher with a crossbow? We breaking with tradition?
Stop talking. Got a Griffin to kill.
That too.
Watch out! It's about to dive!
Oh, that was close.
Well, how long you gonna make me wait?
Oh wow, it even stunned me, even with the... That's not cool. Dang, Vesemir is going off on this thing.
Time to end this.
Here. Yeah, this early fight is it's definitely something. Especially I feel like my gear is just not doing the trick right now for the amount of damage that I'm doing. This is going to take longer than I would like. I could do a better job of positioning. All right, there we go.
Damn, it's fast.
Yeah, that's the other thing I gotta remember. You gotta stay behind these things. But it's also got that attack where it hits from the rear. And that just complicates it a bit. How did that break my... Come on.
Come on.
There we go. All right, it's going a little better here. I think we've got it down to around... Oh, are we chasing it now? Okay. Once you get it down to around half health, it makes a run for it, and then we got to finish. Oh, damn,
Come on, come closer.
It. All right, I gotta be real careful here. Oh yeah, okay, not great. Another pass. I basically got to keep wind shield.
I like that silver.
Wow, that's close.
Time to end this.
Oh. Yeah, Royal Griffin is no joke, and it's really got to be the length and the fact that it's quite fast. A lot faster than my kill just as soon as I put it up. There you go, bud.
Die.
Yeah, it's just really quick and has so much reach. That'll do it. Ooh, okay. Not too shabby.
Not bad. Not bad. Though you could stand to improve some things.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
For example?
Upward vertical strike. It's too obvious. But more on that later. Take the Griffin's head to the Black Ones. I'll ready our horses. Meet me at the inn.
Yeah, this is what I really like about doing the Death March difficulty is pretty much every fight is a lot more interesting. On normal, it's like somewhat challenging, but not really. You know, you would want the actual contracts and boss battles, so to speak, quite hard. So. And then, of course, the trophies on the side of Roach just look fantastic. All right, so I think that makes a good place to stop here. Got a great sunset, or sunset here, and just makes for a great visual. This would be a good stopping point. Thanks everyone, for joining, for watching today. Should be resuming normal streams with Dragon Age 2 next week. Pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure. And then Skyrim is just about ready to go. I'd say it's maybe I have a few more mods to mess with, and maybe in another couple of weeks we should be ready to start doing the Skyrim stream. So, and it may end up something that I do on Sundays or Mondays. Potentially even Fridays, we'll have to see, but we'll mix that in there as well. So yeah, really appreciate everyone joining. Hope everyone liked seeing a little bit of Geralt. And again, if we do have time somewhere in the schedule to make this a regular thing, might even do the whole thing. It's a pretty long game to get through, especially if you count the DLCs and everything. But it's also like one of the best story-driven role-playing games of the last few years. So it kind of fits with what we tend to do on the channel. Everyone have a good rest of your Saturday. Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.